This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Europe, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Greg Johnson. He is the chairman and CEO of Metallic Minerals. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: MMG on the TSX Venture and MMNGF in the US. Greg, thank you for joining me. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Glad to be back. Thank you.
It's great to have you back. So for those who may have missed it, we actually, Greg and I did an interview that we published back on September 4th of this year. So we're going to start off this interview with a little bit of an update, So Greg, you mind telling us some corporate highlights, since we last spoke?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a busy season. I mean, everyone with coronavirus wasn't sure what kind of programs we were going to be able to do earlier in the year. So we completed a syndicated financing with Canaccord for $8 million. That allowed us to accelerate our exploration program to add a second drill. So we've had both a core drill and a reverse circulation drill turning on our Keno Hill silver project up in the Yukon next to Alexco Resources. Since we last talked, Alexco has announced they got their final permit to turn the mine and the mill back on. So that's been a great development for the district that we sit in, as well as for the Yukon. That's the third mine to come on stream in the Yukon in the last 12 months. So it's quite a major event. With that accelerated program on our projects, we've been core drilling on the advanced stage targets. And with the reverse circulation drill, we're getting the very first drill holes into these exciting new discoveries on the less explored, what we call kind of the greenfields part of this brownfields district. And so that's really been the focus and the excitement for Metallic Minerals.
Very good. So I want to follow up then with a quick question about the drill program. So as far as drilling on the eastern part of the Keno district, what would you consider a success, and what would that mean for the general understanding of the Keno Hill region?
So let me set a framework just really quickly. So Keno Hill Silver District, over 200 million ounces of high grade silver production, grades over 1,000 grams per ton. In just the last 6-8 years, you've had 100 million ounces of new discoveries, mostly on the western part of the district. But the geologic setting continues for another 15 kilometers from the namesake Keno Hill mine. And so a big part of our holdings are in that less explored part of the Keno Hill district, the eastern half. Up until this year, there was never a drill hole out there, but the geologic setting is the same underlying geology, same style of structures. Our work in the last 2 years followed up work from the 1950s and 60s. And because that area didn't have road access, it really hadn't been followed up until we came on the scene. So undertaking modern geophysical and geochemical surveys, we identified a dozen multi-kilometer scale targets. So these are targets using soils and magnetics and other tools that we use in the exploration process. And that suggested that we had something really unique out there. And so we put a drill hole out there. In fact, we're going to have 20 plus holes out in that area with this reverse circulation drill. We're getting the very first intersections in the third dimension. So that tells us, okay, we know what we have at the surface. What are we seeing as we start to drill these holes? And why that's exciting is by hitting high-grade silver 15 kilometers away from the bigger deposits, it tells us that district, in fact, is 30 plus kilometers across. So to put that in context, you're in Zurich right now. It's the equivalent size district as the entire city of Zurich. I mean, it's a big area, and demonstrating that same kind of classic high-grade silver mineralization across this broad area is a major discovery and advancement for the district and for Metallic Minerals.
Yeah, my digital version of Zurich. I think we all wish we were there in person right now. So Greg, when on our last interview, we talked about from what you could have what you told us about, or what you could tell us about value catalysts, and where you expect the company for the rest of this year going into 2021. So how are we doing on that so far? Are we hitting some of those targets and that trajectory that you've been hoping to achieve thus far?
Absolutely. I mean, with the accelerated program, 2 drills turning, we've got samples that started going into the lab. Probably about a month and a half ago was when we started to accelerate things, and so I know the labs were a bit overwhelmed this year with coronavirus and things. We know that things are going slower, but we're expecting to start to see those early drill results come forward. Geologically, we can see that we're hitting really interesting things in the drill hole. We just need to see what those grades and things are going to be. And so, yeah, I would expect, here we are into October, in this month and well into the first quarter of next year, we're just going to see a steady flow of news from both the advancement and step out drilling on the advanced stage targets, as well as these new targets earlier stage. In addition, we're starting work in our Colorado project down in the southwestern US. We've got a little later season there in terms of that, but we've already undertaken geophysics there, underground sampling, and we're hoping to launch a drill campaign for some confirmatory drilling here later this month. So I think it's going to be an exciting time from a news catalyst point of view. And I think the other thing that's exciting is to see how well gold and silver are holding up in this market. And even the base metals starting to break out are indicating, might not just be the precious metals, but it might be precious metals plus base metals as a broader commodity type focus going into 2021.
Very good. Well, with that, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know about metallic minerals?
Well, absolutely. First place to start is our website, metallic-minerals.com. Happy if people want to reach out directly to us to provide some updated information in terms of upcoming catalysts and even a discussion with management if people want to go into some deeper kind of dive on the projects.
Very good. Well, Greg, thank you so much for joining me as always. Wish you guys the best of luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Europe, which is being held virtually this year. Greg will be there doing a presentation, and thank you all for listening today.